Timburr Comb Day this weekend is going to include the evolution all the way into Conkeldurr, and it's going to have the brand new moveset for this species of Brutal Swing, which is a dark type, very powerful move in Pokemon Go. So today we're going to check out that and the research quest line, $1. Is it going to be worth your energy, effort, and dollars in Pokemon Go? So let's find out. Welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Timburr Comb Day. The first time this Pokemon is going to be very prevalent in the wild. It has typically been locked, as I have said in the tip video, to 7-kilometer eggs, usually 10-kilometer eggs at times, and then occasionally, once that I know of, it has spawned in GoFest. And then also, it has also been raid locked. So this Pokemon is an extremely, I wouldn't say extremely rare at this point because it's been out for quite some time, but it has been more of a challenging Pokemon to be able to get the shiny of, and in specific, as a budget counter. And why I say budget is it's not a legendary Pokemon that you have to raid for, but typically you haven't been able to freely catch it in the wild. So this day is fantastic for that. But we want to know, because we have two different things going on. After Comb Day is up and you don't need to know about the research, just check the timestamps and jump into the point and part of this video that is relevant for you. But let's start off with the $1 quest line. Is it going to be worth your energy, effort, and money in Pokemon Go? Let's find out. And the research is going to be as follows. We do have make 5 nice throws for 15 Pokeballs, catch 15 Timburr for the Timburr encounter, power up a Pokemon 10 times. Remember always to use the low Stardust Pokemon to be able to power those up, preferably around level 1 where the bar is all the way to the bottom. You're going to get 20 Timburr Candy, 3,000 Stardust, a Timburr encounter, and an Incense. Then we have transfer 10 Pokemon, 10 Pineapple Berries, catch 15 Timburr for a Timburr encounter, evolve 3 Timburr for 30 Timburr Candy, 4,500 XP, Timburr encounter, and 1 star piece. In stage number 3, we have make 3 Great Curveball throws for 15 Great Balls, catch 15 Timburr for a Timburr encounter, and evolve 1 Girder for 50 Timburr Candy. Then we have 4,500 Stardust, a Girder encounter, and 1 Rocket Radar. Then we have claim a reward 3 times for 15 Ultra Balls. We're also going to be getting the Timburr and 2 Silver Pineapple Berries for 5,500 XP, Conkeldurr encounter, and 3 rare candies. Good luck. And there you have it. And just remember, the Timburr 100% IV will be 563, the Girder will be 929, and the Conkeldurr will be 1430 coming from the field research. So keep those numbers in mind as you encounter multiple of the Timburr and one of each of the remaining 2. So now let's switch over into the best of the best, because Conkeldurr is an all fighting type Pokemon. It's going to max out at 3,773 with an attack of 243, a defense of 158, and a stamina of 233. So this Pokemon, a little bit more towards the attack, a little bit more towards the stamina. With it being fighting, it will have 3 weaknesses, which are going to be Psychic, Fairy, as well as Flying, and it's going to resist Bug, Dark, as well as Rock. So not the most well-rounded resisted Pokemon, but we will keep going here. The movesets on this Pokemon, for the fast moves, will be Poison Jump and Counter being the most premier fighting type move for a meta attacker and for PvP for the most part. And it's going to get Stone Edge, Dynamic Punch, and Focus Blast as of right now. So unique movesets, and then we're going to add in Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing will come as an evolution during Comb Day, which you can get all the way till 10 p.m. And then also in December on Wrap-Up Comb Day, if you happen to get an extra good one and it's after Comb Day time, you don't have to spend an Elite TM on this, and you can wait all the way until December to get it for free on the Wrap-Up Day when all the evolutions are included throughout the year. Okay, so that is where it sits. But now let's check out what is the strongest moveset on this Pokemon from what we have seen here for its movesets, and then where does Brutal Swing stack up here? So the strongest move on this Pokemon overall will be Counter and Dynamic Punch at 39.36. And just a reminder, guys, that at 39, almost 40, it could be a shakeup of a Pokemon, which is powerful. Doesn't mean that it's going to be the best. It does not, but it could do pretty well here. Then we will have the Counter and Focus Blast at 36.79. Obviously, Dynamic Punch is better there. And then we have Counter and Brutal Swing at 36.68. And then all the way down the line, Counter and Stone Edge at 32.66. So looking at a 36 for the Dark move does not mean it's going to be a top Dark attacker, but it could do semi-decent as a multitask Pokemon. So the top fighters in the game are going to be Mega Lucario in spot number 1, not out yet, and Mega Heracross in spot 2 at 52 and 47. Then we have Mega Blaziken, which is out at 46.51, followed by the Terrakion, which is out with Double Kick and Sacred Sword at 46.31, followed by Keldeo. We have Shadow Machamp up there, and I want you guys to put a note on the Shadow Machamp because it's at 42.72, and we will note here in a second where the Conkeldurr sits versus the Machamp and what might happen in the future with a Shadow. Then on the next page, we have the Lucario at the top as the first non-Shadow, non-Mega out right there at the Counter and Aura Sphere at 36.7. 36.9. Conkeldurr coming in right close second at Counter and Dynamic Punch at 39.36, followed by Mega Lopunny, Shadow Blaziken, and then Machamp at 36.89. So if we do look at these Pokemon, the Machamp is at 36, the Conkeldurr is at 39. Then we go into the Shadow Machamp and it's at 42. So if we put the Shadow Conkeldurr in there, which probably will come out at some point, it would be at around probably 45-ish, which is above the Keldeo and slightly below the Terrakion, which makes it one of the top fighting Pokemon in the game. So when looking at this Pokemon, it's already a pretty good budget counter, right? It sits right next to the Lucario without the Mega and the Shadows in there, which is really powerful. Terrakion's a little bit of an exception. It is a legendary Pokemon. It does take premium XL candy, but that double kick Sacred Sword combo is very lethal on that Pokemon. It's the top fighter in the game besides those couple Megas, which is powerful. But this Pokemon as a Shadow is also going to be very powerful. It is not out yet, but just a reminder, stacking up on all the XL candy right now and the regular candy will help you be prepared in the future that yes, I think you should max out a Conkeldurr based on these stats for a fighter right now. I do think that it's worth it, preferably a lucky Pokemon so you save a lot of Stardust. I think that's going to be most impactful, number one. But number two, most importantly, is have enough XL candy for the future to be prepared that if this Pokemon does happen to drop the Shadow in sometime in the near future or whenever in the future it does come, you guys are ready and prepared to go. So let's check it out in the dark category as well. So we do have page 1 all the way at the top, Brutal Swing on the Mega Tyranitar at 53.55, followed by Shadow Tyranitar with the Brutal Swing at 48.83, regular Tyranitar at 42.2, then we have the Hydreigon with the Brutal Swing at 41.64, and we have Mega Gyarados, Mega Gengar, Hoopa. All the way down the list, we have Shadow Weavile, Ash Greninja onto page number 2. We go all the way down, Darkrai at the top at 38.53, followed by Mega Absol. Then we have the Shadow Honchkrow at 37, Yveltal at 36, and Conkeldurr at 36, above Guzzlord and Zarude, which is quite impressive. So this is already very impressive for this Pokemon. It's competing with some of the top dark attackers, except for Tyranitar, Hydreigon. Hydreigon has a Calm Day move. Tyranitar now has Brutal Swing. It doesn't even need to have any type of elite TMs to be able to get it. And you already have that Pokemon there being an absolute beast, which is very impressive. But this Pokemon, one of the top regular fighting types in the game as a budget counter, number one. Number two, if you have a secondary move on that Pokemon and you put on Brutal Swing, guys, we're already looking at an extremely powerful Pokemon, which is very impressive. I'm impressed with this Pokemon. It looks good and Brutal Swing is already strong on it. Would it be my recommended definitely to max? No, but I'm going to max one as a fighter and I'm going to have a second charge move on it and it will have this move, which is very exciting for me. I'm excited to have this Pokemon, and then when it goes into the Shadow, man, it's going to make this Brutal Swing even more powerful at some point. So as far as a fighting type attacker, would I max multiple of them? I wouldn't say multiple of them. Am I going to max one of them? I absolutely will. I already have a 98% lucky shiny that I will be maxing in Pokemon Go, which is very exciting. But now let's move over into PvP. So without the Brutal Swing, it's ranked 368 in the Great League, 271 in the Ultra League, and 94 in the Master League, all with the same moveset recommended of Counter, Dynamic Punch, and Stone Edge. In the Great League, the 100% IV will be 3-15-15, and in the Ultra League, it will be a 0-15-12. And the Master League will be 15-15-15 all the way maxed out, so we can multi-purpose that Pokemon. But now let's see it with Brutal Swing. And Conkeldurr in the Great League has changed over to a rank 108 to Dynamic Punch, Brutal Swing, and the Counter Quick Move. Then we're going to have it as 91 ranked in the Ultra League, which is a really big bump up. And then finally in the Master League, it goes from the 90s all the way to 62 at Counter, Dynamic Punch, and Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing sweeps through all the leagues and makes it quite a different and more utilized Pokemon for sure. So definitely get those PvP IVs. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That's Conkeldurr Snapshot in Pokemon Go. Best of the best. There is going to be the quest line, but you ultimately have to make that call for yourself. Is it worth it in Pokemon Go? I don't know what. For me, I already told you my stance. Am I recommending you max multiple of them? No. Would I max maybe one or two to level 40? Yeah. Level 50, I will, but you guys have to make that decision. But using it as a lucky Pokemon is effective. It's got great movesets and it's already pretty strong, but saving XL candy for that eventual Shadow is going to be in your best bet. So thank you guys for being here as always, to all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes their support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.